You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Jody Miller-Young. And today we have on Amy Hickox of Aromalettes, a company making the only single application disposable fragrance fresheners for pets. I know that's a mouthful, but digest it for a moment because we'll be right back after a short commercial message where we'll meet Amy and hear all about what she does.
We'll be right back after a short pause.
It's DesignerPetSweaters.com, the latest fashion trends for our furry friends. Hand-knitted designer sweaters for your precious pup or cool cat. Beautiful couture patterns for your pets, including custom-knitted formal wear, casual wear, yachting, and even sports-themed. Many designer pet sweaters include feathered Tammy hats, top hats, and a lot of sparkle. Each sweater includes leg loops, front paw sleeves, and leash opening. Visit DesignerPetSweaters.com to order your four-legged fashions today. Your pets will stay warm for the winter and be runway ready. Large or small, we fit them all. DesignerPetSweaters.com.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Jody Miller-Young, and today we're here with Amy Hickox of Aromalettes. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Jody. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing today?
Hanging in there.
Awesome. Good to hear. It's almost the weekend. You know, when I discovered Aromalettes, I thought, what a cool idea. Why hasn't anyone thought of this before? Tell us a little bit about how Aromalettes work.
Well, first and foremost, I want to reiterate to everyone that Aromalettes are very safe. They are made with a minute amount of encapsulated oil, which is less than what's used if you spray a pet. And it's basically just fragrance oil that's encapsulated and sealed, and when you peel it open and break the seal, you rub it on the pet's fur immediately absorbs the oil, so the fragrance lasts longer, and it's safe so the pet can't lick it off or anything.
They end up smelling delicious even in between baths.
Yes, that's the whole point is, bathing a pet, you can't overbathe the pet, and you want them to smell like they just got groomed all the time, and this is the way to do that.
And it's very cool that this is a dry fragrance, so it's, none of those wet sprays or oily or greasy, perfumey products. This is no muss, no fuss.
Exactly. And it's not powdery. You can't see it on the pet. It's invisible. And I hated the sprays. That's part of why I was drawn to pursue this.
Okay, very interesting. Now, what I thought was really cool, too, was you come from a whole other career in Washington, D.C. Tell listeners what you did, because it's very interesting. And then what gave you the idea to get into the pet world?
Yes. Well, I moved from California and worked on Capitol Hill, then the Pentagon, and the White House, and had my own consulting business. And
what did you do, Amy? What did you do in Washington? Inquiring minds want to know.
I worked for a congressman, then I worked for another congressman who became Secretary of Defense, so I worked for him in the Pentagon, and then I went to the White House and ran a program for the First Lady.
Oh, my goodness.
And then I had a consulting business advising Fortune 500 companies on politics and public policy.
So very high-powered, and I would imagine very stressful.
Yes, although I must say, the pet world is also stressful.
I think anytime you start a business, there's definitely stress that goes along with it. It's not easy to start a business. For anybody, out there listening that has worked for another company or works at home but doesn't have your own business, it's quite a challenge of a different nature. All jobs are challenges, but this, I think, is of a different nature. But what gave you the idea, Amy, to get into the pet space?
So when I was home recovering from a car accident, our family got our first dog. And I was sitting on the sofa going through the mail, and there was a fragrance insert in one of my bills, and I smelled it. And as I was smelling it, our dog jumped on my lap. And I went, and I rubbed it on him, and I still smelt it. It was a subtle fragrance 2 days later, and I thought, this would be a great pet product, because I hate sprays that they roll around. My cats roll around in the spray. And I began to pursue it, and I took what I learned in my private sector jobs, which is listening to people, seeking advice and counsel, and began to connect the dots. And before I knew it, I had filed a patent and done my first production.
How exciting. Aromalets is also a family business, right?
Yes.
So who's involved from the family, and what have you got them doing?
Well, everybody's involved, from my parents to my husband to my children, and most important, my dog Biscuit picked all the fragrance himself.
Oh, that is so adorable. Fragrances for pets do require specific considerations, and I know that you earlier stated that there's a minute amount of this fragrance oil and it's very safe. What was your process, just so listeners know, kind of what you went through to make sure that you arrived at a very safe formula?
Yes. Well, I talked to vets and veterinarian schools, and we use a product that complies with all safety regulations, and because I wanted to make sure that was most important to me that it was safe. And in fact, in discovering this and talking to scientists and vets, I discovered it's actually more safe than sprays, because sprays can get to the skin, which is where allergies start, or going up the nose of a pet. And these are safer because there's less oil, and it goes right into the fur and doesn't get to the skin.
Very interesting. Very interesting. We both know how popular perfumes and other kinds of fragrances are becoming for pets. Companies are popping up, offering them on in all different packaging and all different ways. So it seems like a real burgeoning business. Tell us about the different scents that you offer and describe each of them a little bit for listeners.
Okay. First, we have a Lavender Hills, and that is a soft calming scent because it's known that lavender calms dogs. Then we have Tropical Sunset, which is like a pina colada, and it was made to smell like mini shampoos that I've used on Biscuit before. The third one is Evening Primrose, which is also a little hint of springtime that smells like pet shampoo. And finally, my husband insisted that we have 40 Day, which is a musk flavor for male dogs and dads.
You need something for the guys, absolutely.
Yes, yes. And those are the 4 scents we started with.
So, Amy, does it work like it does on humans, where it smells a little different on each pet?
Yes, and you know what? I didn't understand that. That's all because of individual body chemistry. So perfume on you will smell differently on a girlfriend. That's number one. And number two is the length of the scent varies on each individual body chemistry. And that compares to dogs the same way, too. It smells differently a little bit, and it lasts different amounts of time on individual pets.
Interesting. Generally, how long will the fragrance last, and can you reuse it, or is it one application only?
The time varies. My Cavachon, for example, I can smell it after 2 days. And each individual aromalet you can use several times because the encapsulation isn't all broken when you open it. So each time you rub it on the pet, you get more encapsulation broken and goes onto the pet.
Right. Walk listeners through exactly how you apply aromalets, because it may not be clear from what we've said thus far without being able to see it. And listeners, you will be able to go on the Bark and Swagger page of the Pet Life Radio site and see examples of aromalets, and there'll be a little video up there too, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But just walk everyone through how you actually apply them.
Yes, they're a rectangular 3x5 piece of paper that is closed and halved, and there is the encapsulated fragrance on the inside. And when you peel it open, you break the fragrance. You can't even see it. It's so minuscule, but you'll smell it. You rub it on the pet, around wherever you want the fragrance to go, and then you close it up and you can store it and use it again. These are great keeping your nightstand, in your purse, in a backpack, anywhere to quickly refresh your pet.
Yeah, so easy. And they're multi-purpose too, right? What other applications can people use aromalettes for?
Yes, you can use them in your car, on your car seats where your dog jumps in and smells. You can use them on bedding. I've used them on my bed where the biscuit gets to sleep. You can use them on furniture, rub them on pillows, sofas. They can refresh any place the dog's been, their bed.
Great. How are they sold, Amy? Are they sold individually or do you sell them in packs?
Yes, they're sold in packs of 12, retail packs of 12, and you can buy one of the 4 scents or you can buy a pack with 3 of each sample scent.
Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to take a short break now, but when we come back, you're going to find out more about aromalettes, and you're also going to find out about a very cute video they've made to help stinky pets everywhere. Stay tuned. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back, right after we kibble a little with our sponsors.
Your dog loves going for a walk, but what do you do when the weather just won't cooperate? Your canine companion shouldn't have to come home cold, wet, and uncomfortable. Zippy Dynamics has created a chic, revolutionary, and functional suit that covers your best friend from head to toe. Our apparel is stylish and remarkably protective against all weather.
You and your dog deserve the best, and Zippy Dynamics is here to provide. Visit zippydynamics.com now and receive free shipping on all orders for a limited time. Zippy Dynamics, clothing of a different breed.
Pet Life Radio, the #1 pet radio network on the planet, joins forces with iHeartRadio to put the power of your pets in your pocket. Awesome! Download the iHeartRadio app and rock Pet Life Radio on your phone, on your tablet, on your Xbox, in your car. Pet talk, pet tunes, and fun pet times. Pet Life Radio and iHeartRadio. Positively Possum.
Hi, this is Tim Link, animal communicator and pet expert and host of Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. Have you ever wanted to know what your pet is really thinking? Do you want to find out if they truly understand what you're trying to tell them? Ever wish you could build a better understanding and closer relationship with your pet? Well, now you can. Learning to Communicate with Animals is a 4-part on-demand workshop. In the workshop, you'll learn the essential techniques that are necessary to communicate with animals, including what is animal communication, breathing correctly to achieve the perfect state to communicate with your animals at a deeper level, using guided meditation exercises and method to communicate with animals, and how to send and receive information from your animals. So if you're wanting to learn how to communicate and connect with your animals at a deeper level, visit petliferadio.com/workshop and purchase and download Learning to Communicate with Animals. You'll be glad you did.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's All Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. All Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Jody Miller-Young, and we're here with Amy Hickox of Aromalettes. Amy, you have the cutest video of Biscuit, your dog, having a conversation with his friend Fred. And the conversation is about how to help Fred get rid of his smelliness so his mom will let him hang out on the couch with her. How was it working with the dogs? And do you have actual stories from happy pet parents Aromalettes has helped?
Yes, it was great making the video. Actually, Fred's mom is a very good friend of mine. And
he's so cute.
She came over. Yes, he's adorable. You know, those bulldogs are a favorite.
Yeah.
And she came over and brought him, not knowing that she was going to be asked to star in the video with him. So it was a fun thing to do. She is a firm believer in aromalets, so she agreed to help with the video with Fred, whose really name is Jackson.
Oh, so he had an actor's name for the video.
Yes, he had an actor's name.
He played a character. He did a really good job. You can see the video on the Bark and Swagger page. It's really cute. So you have a lot of happy pet parents that Aromalets has helped?
Yes, we do. We hear from them all the time, and they're used by groomers, daycare providers who want their pets to smell fresh before they go home at night.
Very, very nice.
Great feedback.
Great, great. Now, I know you and I have talked about getting Aromalets out there into shelters across the country, which I think is a wonderful idea. Tell us a little bit about that, what you envision and why.
Well, actually, I heard from several local shelters around the country that asked me for aromalets to donate for auctions at their events. And it dawned on me, aromalets would be a great addition to these adoption events that these groups host. And in fact, I called the local chapter that had requested the auction item, and they said, yeah, that would be great because sometimes we can't bathe every dog before we have an event.
Right.
And so I've been trying to work with national organizations like the Humane Society and the SPCA to figure out how best to get aromalets to local chapters.
That's so wonderful.
I'm a small business, so I can't donate and mail to every local chapter. But maybe there's a way to get through national to get it down to the chapters at events or whatnot.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful idea. And hopefully we'll help you get that out there a little bit and get some, humane societies and other organizations on board.
Yeah. If possible, to ask to bring it up the chain to get to the national level or the state level to figure out an affordable way that we can get them to use at various events.
It sounds like a win-win.
Yes. Also an opportunity for affinity marketing so that they could sell aromalets at these events and make money for the local humane societies.
Beautiful. Or for their local shelters. The grassroots shelters really need it even more. So, and they're always looking for opportunities to make money, and anything that can help a dog be more appealing for adoption is wonderful. It's all good. Now, Modern Dog Magazine, Aromalets is getting out there. Modern Dog Magazine named it a Fave Find this year, which is really, really cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sure. Any other recognition the product has received?
Yes, we won the Pet Industry Recognition Award when we launched at the Groom Expo last year.
Congratulations. That's a great one. I think Pet Age also covered you guys, yeah?
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, the holidays are almost here, unbelievably. And to me, I think Aromalets make a perfect holiday stocking stuffer. It's an inexpensive gift comparably to, other things you might buy. It's something that people will actually use, and it looks really nice. So I think it's a great stocking stuffer, or really anytime gift idea, but with the holidays, that would be a good one. Are you, getting out there with that idea? Are you getting interest from, anybody in presenting it in that way?
Yes, thank you very much. I'm always looking for small gifts to give to friends, to thank them for having us over, doing something with our sons. And I think these are a great gift to give to people. And you're right, they're affordable. They're $9.99 a pack. So I encourage people to get some for this holiday season as a new, exciting gift that pet families will appreciate.
You can't have a dog that smells too good, right? So it's a great grooming tool and sort of everyday tool to have handy around the house. Where can people purchase?
You can buy aromalets. They're available at some online stores, and they're available on our website at www.aromalets.com. That's AROMALETTES.com.
Great. Thank you so much, Amy. I'm sorry to say we're out of time, but it's been wonderful talking to you, and it's always great to learn about new products. This is a good one.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. You'll have to keep us posted.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay, and thank you all for listening. And thanks to our producer, Mark Winter, who makes us sound like geniuses. My passion is fashion. So tune in next time to discover the designers, styles, and home decor I love. And don't forget, visit me at barkandswagger.com where you'll find great fashion stories and more. So until next time, when fierce fashion calls, bark and swagger.
Let's talk pets every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.